Hello happy souls, welcome back to my channel. Big shout out to all of my loyal subscribers and a big hello and welcome to those of you that are new to this channel here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys so much. And I just want to say a really big thank you to those of you that have been watching my adverts. It's such a sweet way to exchange energy. 60 seconds of your time in return for a free reading. It's not a bad deal, is it? But I appreciate you guys that do that so much. It really does help to keep my channel growing. It makes the biggest difference to me. So thank you. Thank you for your very kind and generous offer of your time in that way. Okay, so I've got 3 piles for you today, and we are asking, what do you need to know about how your person is thinking and feeling about you? What's in their heart and what's in their mind? Now, there's no right or wrong way to choose a pile. Just see which one you're drawn to. We've got the Happy Tarot with pile 1. This is Rose Quartz. We've got the Spiritsong Tarot with Ametrine. And we've got the Chakra Wisdom Tarot with Larimar. So you can pause the video and douse over them if you like, or just see which one you're drawn to. You may be drawn to more than one pile, and that's okay. It just means there's messages in more than one pile for you. Don't forget to make a note in the comments of which pile you've watched, because all of my readings are timeless. That's to say, you may be drawn back to this video at a later date and another pile might be right for you then. Don't forget to check out my other videos. They're all split into playlists, so you can easily find what you're looking for. And let's do this. Hello, part 1. You have chosen the Happy Tarot with Rose Quartz. Okay, I'm going to give these a shuffle for you. And again, we're asking, what is your person thinking and feeling about you, about your connection? What's in their heart? What's in their mind? What do you really need to know? See what comes through. And whilst I'm shuffling, just to give you a heads up that you can now book my webinars online. Make sure you check them out. The next one's at the Beaver Full Moon. And we're actually going to be working with Beaver Energy. We're going to be doing a power animal journey, which is my favourite way to work with spirit, I have to say. So hopefully you can join me there. You can find the links below in the description box, but my website's happysouls1111.com. So hopefully I'll see you there. I'm also doing a 12/12 portal giveaway. So if you would like to join me at the 12/12 portal event, make sure you check that out. It's actually listed. The giveaway is being held on the 1111 portal guided meditation, which you can watch anytime, by the way. You know, all of my meditations, like my readings, are timeless. Energy in the 5D doesn't have the same time constraints as we do in the 3D, so you can always tap in to that energy. Okay, pile 1. What's your person thinking and feeling? We have got the 6 of Cups. We have got the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the Moon. We've got, I believe that's the Queen of Swords. And we have got the King of Pentacles. Let's get some more here. We have got, I believe that's the Page of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles in reverse. That's the Emperor in reverse. The Tower. And the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. I'm going to get some oracle cards for you guys as well. I'm using the Queen of the Moon Oracle. If you're interested in what decks I'm using, I do always list them in the description box below. We've got Boundaries and Realization. And from the Archetype Deck, we've got the Light Attribute of Prostitute. I know that's a bit triggering, but don't worry, it's not a bad thing. And we've got the Shadow Attribute of Beggar. And I'm going to use these cards as well. This is just a deck of blanks that I have written on myself. Hopefully you can see, I know the sun is right in our face here. It's a beautiful day here, blue skies. It really does make such a difference. The more you push me, the more I will run. I'm not a bad person for choosing me. Why must you overcomplicate things? I'm not ready for you and you are not ready for me. Stop trying to force it. I wish I had told you how I feel when I have the chance. So we will pull some more cards as we go. But let's see what we've got here. Okay, so the first thing I'm picking up here with this Six of Cups is that this is definitely a very deep soul connection that you're experiencing. But with the Page of Pentacles in the reverse clarifying this, it feels like it's been so intense that neither one of you is quite sure what to do about it. There's definitely been some huge realization here, and your person is for sure understanding that there is something very deep and very magnetic happening between you. But we do have some blocked energies here with the Five of Pentacles in reverse clarified by the Seven of Pentacles reverse. What this is telling me is that neither one of you is prepared to take a risk to move this forward. You are both disabled by your fear of rejection and your fear of abandonment. This means that there's no authenticity in this connection. And it does say here, I wish I told you how I felt when I had the chance. But what I'm hearing is that neither one of you has actually communicated how you really feel. Neither one of you is prepared to invest in this connection by showing up as authentic, because the fear of losing, the fear of being rejected is so very strong. And your person is feeling this very intensely. Now we have the moon here, which again indicates fear. It's clarified by the Emperor in reverse, which is distorted masculine energy. This person feels out of control. They're recognizing how spiritual and strange everything is, but they don't know how to I guess, create any context around this experience. They don't understand what's happening, and it's just making them feel out of control and very, very vulnerable. Now, with the Queen here, upright, you know, what this is showing us, this Queen of Swords and the Tower, is that there's been some kind of harsh exchange between you that caused everything to collapse. And I'm hearing that this person feels a lot of deep regret around this. Now, in truth, it says here, I'm not ready for you and you're not ready for me either. Stop trying to force it. And it feels like at the moment, you guys coming together is like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It's just not working. Neither one of you is energetically in the right place for this connection to be a happy and whole one. Both of you, I'm hearing, have karma that still needs to be resolved. This may not necessarily be romantic karma, but for sure it's an indication that there are karmic lessons that still need to be resolved for each of you. I don't actually see any other relationships interfering here, certainly not romantic ones, but I'm hearing that there is quite a lot of karma on both sides of the fence. Now, your person feels very strongly that they have to be in a certain point in their life before they can really move towards a committed relationship. We've got the King of Pentacles here, and it's clarified by the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So this person is feeling less than ready. And it says here, I'm not ready, but they don't feel ready for a committed relationship. In distorted masculine energy, they very much believe that they have to be a provider, a protector. You know, they've got to tick certain things off their list of to do in order that they can actually enjoy a happy, healthy relationship. Now, this might be a very limiting set of beliefs they have, but this is where they are at. For sure, their material world is out of balance right now. And that's to say that they don't feel confident or stable in what they're achieving career-wise or with their home life. Things are definitely somewhat tumultuous for them. And so even though they do see you as a long-term partner, they don't feel ready to commit to a long-term partnership with you or anyone else. Now we have got here, the more you push me away, the more I will run. And for sure, I feel the strength of that runner-chaser energy in this connection. As I said, both people are afraid, and fear really upsets the balance of the magnetism that exists between you. So, you know, the more each of you labours under these rejection wounds, the less likely it is that the energy is going to come into balance and allow you both to move together. Now, it says here also, I'm not a bad person for choosing me. This is coming up over this Seven of Pentacles energy, which is in reverse, that reluctance to invest, that reluctance to move forward, or a reluctance to wait. I'm hearing for you, it was a reluctance to wait for them to be ready to invest. And you may have really castigated this person for, you know, not choosing you. I'm hearing that terms like you're selfish, you're not fair, you're being cruel. You may have even accused them of being abusive. But again, we see this runner-chaser dynamic here. And remember, chaser energy is the energy of desperately clinging and needing something, wanting something that's not right for you and not seeing clearly, which can create toxic or coercive behaviors. So for sure, you've really been very angry with this person. You've spoken very harshly or very out of turn. You may have called them selfish, but you're being asked to reflect here that this person, they had to make a decision for themselves. It would have been wrong for them to commit to you when they didn't feel ready, when they didn't feel fully invested. And there's nothing selfish about that. If they've got inner conflict, if they've got, any lack of certainty around how to proceed, then they're right to pause and wait. But it does feel like you're trying to push things. You're being asked here to stop trying to force this, to recognize that things are really turbulent right now. I don't think this is just between you. I think this is in life in general. This person's had some kind of dramatic ending to somewhere in an area in their life. It could be a relationship, it could be something to do with career. Either way, they're not ready. There are other areas of their life that need their focus, certainly resolving karma, but they are realizing that they have big feelings for you. Now, the boundaries card, this person just feels like they need time alone right now. This person feels like they need to withdraw, and they don't feel that you're very understanding of that. And this comes from that chaser energy that you're holding. It's when we need something so desperately, quite often we can lose sight of all the reasons why people can't show up for us. And we can feel very entitled, to get what we want. So you are being asked to recognize that, no one is obligated to deliver on your needs. That's something that we have to learn to do for ourselves. And for sure, this pushing energy, this demanding energy is really not doing any favors to you in this connection. This person does care about you, but things have felt very complicated, and this has made them feel out of control. I'm hearing that this person doesn't have a good handle on their emotional depths. They're not comfortable exploring their emotional depths. In fact, they would much prefer to ignore them. And you're an energy that asks them to grow. You're an energy that asks them to face their emotional depths, and they're not ready to do that. They don't feel comfortable doing that. It just makes them feel too topsy-turvy. In this distorted masculine energy as well, the ego is strong. And so all of these limiting beliefs about how things have to be are very real for them. They may seem silly to you, but to them they are very real. They're triggering all of these subconscious fears. And again, there is some really dark, deep karma here that has to be resolved. This person's not having a good time. It may appear that they're being kind of, dismissive of your needs, dismissive of what could be between you. But you're really being asked to recognize that now is not the right time. Now, the light attribute of this card accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. And the shadow attribute here places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. So in terms of how this person feels about you, this is about recognizing that you don't negotiate the power of your spirit by getting other people to meet your needs. That's not how a fair or balanced or healthy exchange works in love. We have to meet our own needs, and that way we can show up in a relationship ready to receive, but not expecting it, and not being crushed by not receiving it. The shadow attribute of the beggar is dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. And this, for me, really speaks volumes about where you're at on your loving journey with yourself, because there is this sense of entitlement here. You blame this person for making you feel bad, and that's because they've rejected you. They don't want you right now, and that really hurts. I'm guided to remind you that how they feel now is transient. Just because they don't feel ready now doesn't mean they're not going to be ready. But trying to force it isn't going to help this situation. It's just pushing it further away. As they say, the more you push, the more I run. So what I'm seeing here is a very unhealthy dynamic. For sure, it feels like the viewer is in very codependent, anxious attachment energy, and the person you're inquiring about is in the energy of intimacy avoidance. And this is a very common dynamic in most relationships. But as I said, this is a soulful, spiritual relationship, probably twin flames, if not some kind of catalyst type connection, which asks you to grow. You're both being asked to grow and to recognize the dysfunction that exists within your connection. And, in truth, I feel like the imbalance is at both sides of the fence. You're both contributing equally to this kind of turbulent energy that means it can't balance in the middle. You can't meet on the bridge. It's like a seesaw, when you're both just going up or down without being able to create that balance, and you both contribute equally to that imbalance. So there's no blame here. It's not about saying you, the viewer, are at fault or your person is at fault. It's just about recognizing that neither one of you are ready for this. And I'm hearing this is hard for you to hear because you feel ready. You just want to be loved. You want to be in a relationship and you'd rather it be with this person. You recognize this beautiful big love that you have for them. But look at this card here, this realization. This person is looking through the keyhole, but they're not moving. They're waiting here. And this is the energy of them needing to pause to reflect before they actually step forward and take action. They've got these boundaries which are keeping them at arm's length from you, and you are arm's length from them. But I'm hearing this is with good reason. The energy between you isn't balanced. This relationship can't work right now. And so your focus is better placed on looking within you to find out why you're not feeling healthy as far as love is concerned. When there is an overwhelming or painful longing for love or for another person, this is a firm indicator that things are out of balance for you. And if you're not a spiritual person, you may be thinking, well, this is normal. This is how love feels. Love is painful. Love hurts. People do miss someone. They want someone, and it's okay to feel that. And you're quite right. This is how the vast majority of the population conduct themselves in love. And they go through these really trying trials and tribulations, trying to find that equilibrium, trying to find some balance and some peace in their love life. And I'm here to tell you it doesn't have to be like that you can transcend those energies, that you don't have to feel so anxiously attached to this person. In fact, it doesn't serve you. So long as you're relying on someone outside of you to bring you that inner peace, to help you feel good and loved and validated and approved of, you're going to suffer. Because with the greatest will in the world, no one outside of you can truly provide that. No one can give you what you don't already have for yourself. You can only meet someone as far as you've met yourself. And so these energies are asking you to recognize that your person can't give you that because they don't have it for themselves, and that actually you're not in the energy of receiving. You're in the energy of overgiving, and so there's no space for you to receive their love. And so until each of you have brought these energies back into balance, this connection isn't going to move forward in the way that you would ideally like it to. And I know that's really, really hard, but that's how this is. This is what's happening here between you. Let's get some more of these message cards. How is this person feeling about you? What's in their heart? What's in their mind? I may not tell you how I feel, but I'm trying to show you. I want to tell you how I feel, but I'm afraid of the power this gives you over me. You have been hurt so much that you project your toxic expectations onto me. I am so proud of how far you've come. You inspire me every day, and I'm never not thinking about you, never. So, this person really does care very much. They do have feelings, and we've had a number of cards come out here that indicates they wish they could have communicated these feelings to you. Again, they're afraid of how vulnerable this makes them. They're not in control, and so it doesn't feel safe for them to express themselves. And they do try and show you, and what I'm hearing here is that there's some disparity in how each of you communicates love. Remember, there are 5 love languages. Please Google them when you finish watching this reading. We all give and receive love in different ways, and for sure it feels like you two speak different love languages. This person's trying to show you that they care. I'm hearing that they do show up for you in loving ways. This might be that they do things for you that they wouldn't do for other people. Perhaps they'll show up and fix something that they knew needed doing. Perhaps they'll, see when you're stressed and offer to cook you dinner. This is the energy of action. So they're showing their love by doing things for you. I'm hearing this person feels much more comfortable and at ease communicating love when it's in a more physical way. They're not very good with words. Remember, they're not good at connecting to their emotions. It says also here that you've been hurt so much that you project your toxic expectations onto me. So this person feels that a lot of the things you've said to them, you know, about them being a bad person for not choosing you, for not treating you in the way you feel you deserve, a lot of that is actually born of the experiences you've had in relationships before them. If you've been in an abusive situation, it's really easy to be re-traumatized when those triggers are set by similar circumstances. But that doesn't mean that there's abuse there. Okay, it just means that you've been triggered, that the triggers that are presenting are reminding you of the experiences you've had before. I'm hearing that this person finds it particularly difficult to hear, oh, you're a narcissist, you're abusing me. When you ghost me, that's abusive. And if you have experienced very real abuse, those feelings that you're experiencing in those moments when you're triggered can feel very, very real. But because you're triggered and you're not in a healthy or still place, you're not seeing the situation clearly. So you're really being asked to step back and recognize that this person isn't being deliberately hurtful or abusive. They're just choosing themselves. And they have a right to choose themselves, just as you do. You know, we all have a right to detach sometimes if things don't feel comfortable for us. But for sure, this person isn't the bad person you think they are. You know, I really feel very strongly that they're not trying to hurt you, that their intentions aren't abusive or malicious, but they're triggering old wounds in you that need healing. And of course, you know, we did see this karma that exists in both of you. Karma is about resolving lessons. It's about recognizing how our own wounding feeds into our present and certainly our present interactions in love. My friends or family don't agree that we should be together. You are so much better than me, you will end up leaving me. And you talk about self-love, but you get upset when I need space. And so again, you know, this one shows that disparity. You know, you're talking about self-love, unconditional love, but you don't have the healthy boundaries or recognition of what healthy boundaries are, which would allow you to discern when someone is taking space because they need space, or when someone is being deliberately hurtful, abusive, or coercive. And again, this is these old wounds, you know, from the toxic relationships of your past. This person also feels like they're not good enough. Remember, we saw this. They need to be very stable, materially successful before they feel like they can have a long-term committed relationship. And they don't feel that they are. And they're seeing some disparity in how you have succeeded in life. You know, they see you as being more stable, more accomplished than them. And that really triggers their masculinity. It makes them feel emasculated. We've also got this issue here around friends and family. And so it feels like there may be some huge differences in culture, race, social class. There's something here that makes them feel like the relationship wouldn't be accepted. I just want to get some clarifiers on this because I feel this is some of the karma that they're actually dealing with. What's the issue around friends and family that's an obstacle here? Right, we've got the High Priestess. We have got the Four of Wands, wow. And we've got the Fool in reverse. So for sure, it feels like the family is overall not accepting of spiritual matters. They perhaps believe, I mean, that this Four of Wands and High Priestess card to come up here indicates a very spiritual connection. Also the possibility of marriage. With the Fool in reverse, it may be the case that this person doesn't have a great deal of choice around who they marry, that there's certain social constructs which they need to adhere to. There could be an indication of an arranged marriage here, or being married within the same cultural or religious beliefs. And so for sure there's a spiritual clash here, a spiritual clash of interests, and this person not having as much autonomy as they would perhaps like. So it definitely feels like there's some karma here. This person's being asked to rise up and recognize their own free will. I'm hearing this as a lesson that they may have faced through many lifetimes, and they've got to overcome it themselves. You know, they've got to decide, I choose for me. And in previous lifetimes, they perhaps haven't done this. So for sure, there are other challenges here. And I think this really gives credence to that King of Pentacles energy, which, as I said, it suggests they've got to be capable of providing. So it may be that they lean on their family in some way, that they rely on the security of that family unit, and that they don't have, the resources to step away and choose for themselves. So for sure there are some huge karmic constraints here that are connected to religion, to spirituality and to family that is also holding this person back. Right, I want to get some advice cards for you before we go. How can you best move forward with this connection? I'm going to take this over to the extended then, and we're going to take a deeper look at this person's thoughts and feelings, get some deeper guidance for you. But I don't want to leave you with no guidance. So let's just pull another couple. Right, so we've got the Hermit. We have got the Queen of Cups in reverse. And we have got the Three of Wands in reverse. So Spirit's asking you to go within. Please Google the Hermit card when we've finished here so you can understand fully what it means as a guidance card. It's about soul searching. It's about finding the light within us. It's also about the power of solitude. What I'm hearing is you need to learn to be on your own. You need to learn to ignite that light within you independently of someone else, to be able to feel satisfied, whole, still, happy and at peace, despite not having the love and support of anyone else. There's a real damsel in distress here about your energy because we've got the Queen of Cups in reverse. Now, there is a dark side to being an empath. An empath who is strongly in chaser energy, who is very codependent or anxiously attached, can be very emotionally coercive or manipulative without realizing it. They work with the energy of guilt tripping, shaming. Remember this one? You're a bad person for choosing yourself. Because they feel so strongly that they would give all of that love and all of that attention because they don't want someone to feel bad, that they feel very entitled to have it and will comfortably shame or guilt trip people in order to get what they want. But that is emotional manipulation. It's not healthy. It's not narcissistic. As I said, there is a dark side to the empath, to the codependent, and you're not seeing this about yourself. You're not seeing how you're not healthy or in balance either. The Three of Wands is a really clear message. It's asking you not to wait. It's asking you to recognize that you can move forward from this situation. That's not to say it won't come back round and that things can't happen with this person in the future. It's a recognition of there being no fulfillment here right now. That if you're desperately longing for something to make you feel good again, this can't be it. This isn't it. This isn't going to work out for you right now. You have to find that love within you. You've got to find that peace somewhere else. At the moment, it feels like you're going round and round in circles, trying to get something and convincing yourself that if you can't have it, you can't be happy. And the cards are saying this isn't true. You're not going to find happiness in this connection as it exists right now. You have to find it within yourself first. And that's when you open the door to fulfillment. So I know those aren't easy messages for you to hear today, part one. Please do join me on the extended if this has resonated for you. As I said, we're going to go much deeper with that and hopefully I can bring forward some more guidance for you. But if you've enjoyed this today, please hit the like button. It really does help. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. And I will see you next time. Lots of love. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Spiritsong Tarot with Ametrine. And we are asking today, what is your person thinking and feeling? What's in their heart and mind? What do you need to know about what they're thinking and feeling? I'm just going to give these cards a shuffle. And whilst I do, don't forget to join my giveaway. I'm giving away 5 free spots at my next 12/12 portal webinar. You can win by checking out my 11/11 guided meditation video. There's instructions in the intro and also in the description box of that video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm very excited to do the 12/12 portal activation with you. You can book other webinars as well at my website, happysouls1111.com, and I've still got a few spaces on my surrender class, which is a beautiful, beautiful class. It's all about healing, learning to love self. I'm very, very excited to share that with you. Anyway, let's do this. What is your person thinking and feeling? We have got the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, sorry, that's the Ace of Wands, in fact, Acorns. The Fool, the Page of Wands, the Seven of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Six of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Three of Swords in reverse. This is really interesting. I'm going to get some oracle cards as well. I'm using the Queen of the Moon Oracle today. If you'd like to know what decks I'm using, I always list them in the description box below. And we have got the Path and Peace. From the Archetypes deck, I am using, let's have a look, see what we get out of these. We've got the Shadow aspect of the Trickster. And we have got the Light attribute of the Rebel. Okay, and I'm also using this deck, which you guys will recognise as the one I have created myself. They're just blank cards that I've written on. Once burned, twice shy. I am not bad, I'm just broken. Your boundaries are not realistic or healthy. I don't trust this situation. And oh no, not again. Please, not again. Oh dear. Okay. How's your person thinking and feeling about you and your connection, pile one? I'm just going to move this up so we've got a better view of the cards. Okay, what have we got here? This is really interesting. I feel that this person, I mean, they care about you very deeply, but this person's very, very, very scared. They are very triggered. They feel very vulnerable. Now, we've got the Ace of Wands here. For sure, there is a tremendous amount of sexual energy in this connection. This person feels very, and this is Aries energy. You see the Ram here as well. This is very driven energy. I feel like this person, even though they feel so vulnerable and they're so afraid of approaching their emotions as far as this connection is concerned, and I have to say there is a distinct lack of emotional energy here. This person's very much up in their head. They're very in their body. This person really feels very driven to come towards you. For sure, they may be expressing themselves in a physical way, but they're reluctant to engage at an intellectual or emotional way. So it feels like as well with this Page of Wands that they're being very, very casual, very flirty, very fun, very charismatic, perhaps denying that there's anything deeper than that here. You know, trying to stay in this energy of innocence and naivety, trying not to get tied down. You may have met this person while you were away on holiday, on vacation, or traveling for work or something like that. Travel's really strongly indicated in this reading overall. So it may be that this person isn't in the same geographic zone as you. But for sure, it feels like even though they're reluctant to communicate, as I said, either intellectually or emotionally, they are very driven to spend time with you and to kind of invest in the physical nature of this relationship. They are kind of skimming the surface of their emotions. We've got this dragonfly energy here, but what I'm hearing about this person is that they have a lot of turbulence in their past. This person has grown up in an environment that was exceptionally challenging at an emotional level. And that's to say that they avoid anything that feels emotionally charged because their history has communicated that emotional depth is dangerous, that it's not safe, that it creates conflict, that it creates complications. And this is why we've got, oh no, not again, please, not again. When they feel that emotional charge rise up into their awareness, they panic. And this person is very, very intimacy avoidant. This is someone that probably even avoids intimacy with their own friends. I'm hearing that they probably can't express love to their pets even. It just feels like a very unsafe energy to be in. And of course, we've got this once burned, twice shy energy. This person is really not comfortable at all with emotion. And so they just skim the surface. They pretend it isn't there. And I feel like this happened to them in adolescence because with these two pages here, what we're being showed is that this person is stuck at a very immature phase in their life. They have not developed emotionally. They haven't developed the skills and the tools to allow them to have an adult, mature, healthy relationship. So this person might be younger than you in real terms, or they might just be younger at heart. But for sure, this person is very, very avoidant when it comes to commitment, when it comes to real relationships. My gut feeling is they probably don't entertain them at all. We've got the Seven of Swords in reverse. This person doesn't intend to be dishonest with you. And with the Three of Swords in reverse, they don't want to hurt you. And it does say here, I'm not bad, I'm just broken. I think that they are aware that who they are and how they're presenting is not good for you. You're not enjoying it. You're finding it difficult. But again, we've got the trickster energy in reverse, manipulating the others through duplicity. This person, I don't think, realizes how dysfunctional their behaviors or actions are. Now, it feels like you're pretty keen to communicate this to them. And I have to say the energies here are very similar to par one. Different circumstances, similar underlying energies. So if this resonates, you may want to check out par one as well. But it feels like this person is... they are seriously intimacy avoidant. They don't trust this situation. In truth, they don't trust themselves. They don't trust love. They don't trust emotional interactions. They've had a really difficult time of that in the past. They don't want to hurt you. They don't want to be dishonest. And I don't think they have been dishonest. I think this person's been really real with you that, look, I don't do relationships. I don't do serious intimacy. I don't do this stuff. And you perhaps hoped they would change. You perhaps hoped that your relationship would deepen and that something more would come of it. And so I feel like even though they've been fairly consistent in showing up and kind of allowing the relationship to progress, it hasn't progressed beyond that initial casual, physical kind of interactions that you've been having. Now, the light attribute of the rebel challenges authority to effect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. And of course, we have these cards over here, the path and peace. Now, I feel like you may have spoken to this person about their childhood experiences. They may have communicated to you their cynicism around love, around relationships, around families, and you've tried to counsel them or discuss opportunities for growth. We've got the path here. So for me, this demonstrates, and it's a number 8, a very spiritual number here. For me, this demonstrates their awareness of there being an alternative solution, but it feels like a big climb. And you can see here, they're very still, hands behind their back. They're observing it, but they are taking no action. They are not ready to climb this ladder. They are not ready to step into this different energy. And the fact that the moon is half full suggests to me there's a lot of fear, shadow and darkness there. They're still not clear. They don't have enough clarity. They don't have enough trust. They don't trust this situation. They don't trust you. And I'm hearing that you mustn't take this personally. It's not the case that they don't trust you because of anything you've done wrong. It's because of the energy that they're carrying forward from their life experience. Peace. And I think this is probably the loveliest energy in all of this reading. When this person thinks of you and when this person's with you, they feel like they've come home. This person feels very still, very calm and very nurtured in your presence. But it's like a child seeking out warmth. They're not necessarily able to give anything back, but they want to be in this energy. They want to feel this nurturing love, this peaceful stillness that you're able to contribute to the situation. It does say that your boundaries are not realistic or healthy, and I'm hearing that this actually pertains to them, not you. They may not understand why you're so upset or frustrated that this connection isn't progressing, because for them, showing up and having sex or showing up and actually being in your company is progression. If their attitude is, if I didn't want to be with you, I won't spend time with you, they're not understanding that they're not actually giving much of themselves away, or that they're not really opening themselves up to this connection. They may perceive you as being far too emotional. They may perceive you as really overcomplicating things and, expecting too much. They genuinely feel that their way of being is the safest way to be in. So this is a person that may be very enthusiastic about life as far as they feel comfortable with it. But the minute they hit their own boundary, which is pretty firm, that they won't go any further. And there's nothing that can convince this person to challenge their own boundary. It's like they've already have made this pact with themselves. What I'm hearing is this person decided a long time ago that they wouldn't engage in deeply emotional or romantic connections. They didn't want to repeat the pain of the past. And, you know, that in itself isn't a healthy conclusion to reach, but this is where this person is at. They, you know, they don't see themselves as ever having those kind of relationships. They feel like they need to limit themselves and to, you know, take the comfortable, safe path, take the safe route. So this person for sure has a very blocked heart space. Now, I'm hearing this means that growth for them is quite impossible right now because they're not really feeling. And even when you're triggered, unless your heart is open and responsive to those triggers, you're not going to develop the awareness around that energy to be able to actually start working with it and to start finding a resolution. And so this person is very stuck, and as a result of them being stuck, your relationship is stuck. You know, this person is literally unable to proceed because of the enormity of their own limiting, very cynical beliefs about love and about relationships. So let's get some guidance for you here, because I think it's really important to understand how you can best deal with this person. And I mean, part one was very much focused on both parties contributing equally to the disharmony that exists in the situation. I feel like in this case, it's not you, it's them. You know, you need to recognize that this person is very dysfunctional, that they have had a very different life experience to you, and that their perception of relationships is seriously distorted. And it's not as simple as just explaining another way to them. You know, their actions, their beliefs and their behaviours are based on an experience they've had, which to untangle and unravel is going to require some kind of awakening on this person's part, a willingness to shift their perception. And they don't have that right now. And that's not something you can create for them. We've got the Five of Wands in reverse. We've got the Chariot in reverse. Got the Six of Wands in reverse and the Empress in reverse. Okay, so what I'm hearing here is that this person genuinely doesn't see that they're playing games. Again, they're not bad, they're just broken. It may be easy to perceive it that way and that they are deliberately an unpleasant person, but again, their dysfunction just creates these behaviours. It's not the case that they're premeditating these behaviours. It's not the case that they're sat there thinking, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll say this and I'll do that, and then that's going to give me more control. It really isn't that deliberate. This person doesn't understand how destructive their behaviours are. They may present as this rebel, this trickster, this game player, but in truth, they don't actually understand what it is they're doing. They don't see how it's having such a dramatic impact. So they may invalidate or minimise how you feel about it because they really don't see it. We've also got the Chariot in reverse. This person isn't motivated, and you're not in alignment with what you're meant to be doing either. Your job is not to educate, heal, or change this person. And I hate giving news like this in readings, but I'm really guided to say you need to step away from this person. With the Six of Wands in reverse, you're being shown that there's no opportunity to win here. You're not going to be victorious in this situation. And with the Empress in reverse, this is distorting your own energy. Now, in truth, I don't think I'm telling you anything you don't know. You've probably reached all of the same conclusions about this person, but what you haven't done is recognize that you have no power to change the situation, and you have continued to try and heal this person, to try and reach them, to try and explain to them how they need to step up, how they need to improve their own sense of well-being, their own esteem, but you've not recognised that you don't have the power here, and that this is now taking a dramatic toll on you. And so I don't often say this so firmly in readings, but if you're resonating with the truth of this reading, there needs to be some acceptance here that you don't have any power to transform this person. Your only power is in transforming yourself. You do bring this person peace. Just by being in their life, you are contributing to their overall sense of well-being. You are protecting them from further harm because you're creating this energetic space for them. You're holding space for them, but you can't do that when it's at a cost to your own sense of well-being. And in truth, I don't think you're coping very well with them not being able to reciprocate, with them not being able to show up and support you. Now, if you're strong enough to see this through, I think that you can continue to be a good friend for this person, but you need to release the expectation that this situation is going to change, because I don't see that it can anytime soon. I'm just going to pull some cards as well to see, you know, where this person's at in terms of creating any change. We've got the 5 of Cups in reverse. We've got the 2 of Swords. We've got the 7 of Wands in reverse. And we've got Justice. Okay, so the 5 of Cups in reverse. The 5 of Cups is all about grief, sorrow, regret. But in order for us to heal, we do have to dwell in that energy. And the fact that this is showing up reversed demonstrates to me this person's reluctance to even face their grief, to face their sorrow, to face their wounding or their pain. And the 2 of Swords coming up is the energy of indecision, of inner conflict, the fear. And in the traditional 2 of Swords in the Rider-Waite deck, what we actually see is a person with a blindfold on, and the water, the sea, is behind them. That demonstrates their refusal to observe the emotional nature of the situation, to even consider that in their decision-making process. You know, they have this blindfold on, they don't want to see, they don't want to notice it. This person is still too afraid to face their own pain. The 7 of Wands in reverse shows us as well about this boundary issue. You know, this person doesn't have good boundaries. They don't have healthy boundaries. And so they're going to find it very hard to respect or understand yours. And we've got Justice here. This person's working out deep ancestral karma. They can't love you in the way that you want them to because their heart isn't engaged with that energy. This person definitely doesn't know how to love. They can feel fun and they can feel lots of positive energies that are light-hearted and childlike and innocent. And that's how they like to spend time with you and show up. But they can't connect with the depth of emotion that you're hoping that they will. They just don't have that in them. And there's no indication that they have any intention of facing themselves right now. So, you know, for me, this looks like it would be much healthier for you to move on. If you really want a deep and meaningful relationship, you need to acknowledge that this person can't give that to you. That's not to say they never will be able to, but for sure they are not in the frame of mind of being able to do that right now. There is just no way on earth that this person is in that energy or has that inclination right now. So I'm going to take this to extended in a minute. We're going to go much deeper with this, but I want to pull some charms for you first. Just get some more guidance on their thoughts and feelings. Whew, quite a few have come out here. Okay. We've got the bitch spray. We have got living in perpetual sin. We have got keep going, keep growing. We've got the gramophone. That also came out for pile 1. We've got the rainbow. We have got empower. And we have got dusk till dawn. So what I'm hearing here with this bitch spray is that this person can be unkind or mean. Again, they're not a bad person, they're just broken. I feel like you have a big compassionate heart and you're able to see that they are just demonstrating learned behaviours from their very unhealthy upbringing and experiences. And this living in perpetual sin charm really does demonstrate that, you know, at heart they are very innocent. You know, the white rose is a symbol of innocence and purity, but they are surrounded by very low vibrational experiences, people and places, and they have a lot of shadow energy in their field, which dominates how they present to the world. So you're not wrong to see the goodness in this person. I don't want you to beat yourself up or to think of yourself as someone weak or damaged for seeing the light in this person. They do have a big, beautiful heart. They are just very, very wounded. We've got keep going, keep growing. And for me, this is about focusing on your own growth and trusting that this situation can and will bloom. We've also got that rainbow symbol here, which is a symbol of hope and optimism. So for sure, I do feel like this person will eventually arrive at the point of healing and focusing on their healing. But you need to know that they are not there yet, and it doesn't look like they're going to be there anytime soon. And so you need to make decisions that are right and healthy for you in terms of how you move forward. I'm hearing a great way to reach this person is through music. This person is very moved by the emotional nature of song. And this is one of the only ways that their heart actually receives, is what I'm hearing. So creating playlists or sharing loving and uplifting music that may help them understand themselves, you, the connection, may be really beneficial here. I'm hearing that your divine feminine energy does empower them to fight back against the adversity and the challenges in their life. Please don't underestimate how much peace and comfort you have brought this person. But right now, you're being a little bit of a martyr. You know, your desire to make this person happy, your overwhelming compassion for their situation. And I know it makes you sad that they don't feel love, but it's taking a toll on you. And you need to recognize the necessity to pull back your energy and focus on you first. There's definitely been an imbalance here from dusk until dawn. I really feel like this person is going to be in your life. It was 2222 on the clock as I said that. You know, I don't think this relationship is going anywhere, but it does need to ebb and flow in a way that is healthy and productive for you. And right now it's really not doing that. So that you definitely need to reconsider. Perhaps you need to take some time out to cultivate your own peace. As I said, you've presented a lot of opportunities for growth to this person, and they're not ready to take that path. They're rejecting them at this stage. And so that might mean that your presence, even though it can be very comforting for them, might also be a bit frustrating, because they're not always very nice to you. Even though you may forgive this and recognize why, it doesn't make it any easier for you to cope with. And again, remember, we've got that Empress energy coming up in reverse, that this is distorting your energy. It's you're not being able to hold your power whilst you're interacting with this person, because your own wounds rise up to meet theirs. So for sure, it feels like some space would be really productive for you. And there is this, you know, there's a need to recognize that this person has a lot of karma still to resolve. So again, very similar energies to part one, but it just feels like it's not so much the case that you're coming at this from a place of massive imbalance. I feel like you've actually been holding your own quite well, but you are also clinging on to something which is essentially somewhat futile right now. But I'm going to take this over to the extended reading. You can find a link for that in the description box below. Please do hit the like button if you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hello, part 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Chakra Wisdom Tarot with Laramart. I'm just going to give these a good shuffle, and we are asking today, how is your person feeling and thinking about yourself and this connection? What do we need to know about what's in their heart and what's in their mind? Now, whilst I'm giving these a shuffle, just to give you a heads up, you can now book the 12/12 portal activation. We're going to be activating our Merkabic fields. You can now book that on my website, happysouls1111.com. I'm very, very excited about that event. Working with Metatron and the Merkaba is very powerful. It really helps your connection to source. It helps protect yourself. The Merkabic field is a very potent form of energy. So hopefully you'll join me there. You can actually win a free space for that webinar. If you check out my 1111 Sacred Union meditation, there is a giveaway on that video. So if you would like to win a place, make sure you check out that video. And you can also still book for my Return to One Surrender and Healing class. So if you are on the twin flame journey and you're struggling and you're not sure how to come into union with yourself, how to start loving yourself, that is the class for you. It's a very intimate class. We work in groups of 11. I'm actually midway through one at the moment, and it's really beautiful. The students are already feeling a lot of benefit from that class. Maybe any of them watching could comment down below and let us know how they're feeling, but the feedback has been marvellous, and I'm really enjoying this class. This is the class I feel like I was built to do. So I'll be sharing all the tips and tricks that I've learned to get myself into a happy place, you know, to lift myself out of the pain of separation. So hopefully you'll join me there. Anyway, let's do this. We've given these a really good shuffle. A few people have complained about reversals recently. As you can see, I riffle shuffle the decks. This makes sure that there's an even balance and distribution of upright and reverse cards. There's nothing wrong with reversals. Some readers don't use them, I do. But don't worry if you see reversals. They're just a blocked energy or an alternate way of reading the message. They're not a bad thing. Okay, let's do this. We're going to get oracle cards and charms as well. Right, we've got the Ten of Swords. We've got the Moon in reverse. We've got the Six of Wands in reverse. We've got the Tower. We've got the Four of Swords in reverse. We've got the Ace of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune. And the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to get some oracle deck cards as well. This is the Archetypes deck. We've got Child, Nature, the Light attribute, the Light attribute of Guide, and the Shadow attribute of Wounded Child. And from the Energy Oracle, we have got Deceit, Strategy, and Door to Romance. And from these cards, these are just blanks that I've written on and prepared myself. We've got, I can never be good enough for you. I can't wait to hold you again. I'm so scared to lose you. And I'm very jealous. So we will be pulling more cards as we go and some charms as well. There is an extended read today. So if this resonates for you, you can watch the extended version. There's a link in the description box and the comments down below. But let's get this rolling. Okay. Your person is in a lot of pain. It feels like with this Tower here as well, and both of these being yellow chakra cards, which are connected to the solar plexus or trigger energy, that your person has suffered some kind of extreme breakdown. You know, they're in a lot of pain. This could be grief for some of you. They may have lost someone, but it's not necessarily that someone's passed away. This could be the case that they've lost you or they've lost someone else in their life. But whatever's happening here, they are going through a tremendous amount of pain. Now, it does say here that they are very jealous. So it could be that they feel stabbed in the back by you. And with the Four of Swords in reverse here, this clarifies for me that this person is not recovering. You know, they are still very much in the thick of this pain that they're experiencing. The Moon in reverse, clarified by the Ace of Cups, is a really interesting combination because this person really does care about you. With the Ace of Cups, this is someone that has big feelings. Bearing in mind we're asking what they're feeling and thinking. For the Ace of Cups to come up, this demonstrates they have big feelings. They're in fact overwhelmed by love for you. And it does say here as well, I can't wait to hold you again. But the Moon in reverse clarifies how little trust and faith they actually have in this connection. You know, it says here, I'm scared to lose you. I'm never going to be good enough for you. And so it feels like you may have rejected this person. They're very much feeling afraid, alone. The Six of Wands, this is a sense of losing, of having failed at something. But the Wheel of Fortune clarifying this really demonstrates that this person feels a very soulful or destined connection to you. Now we've got deceit here as well. So again, with this Ten of Swords, the Tower, I'm very jealous, I'm scared to lose you, I can't be good enough. You know, it feels like maybe this person wasn't entirely honest with you. Perhaps they've not been showing up in an honest way and you've let them go. It could also be the case that you weren't honest with them and they're still reeling from that. Either way, both of you are being quite strategic in your actions, and I'm hearing that some of this upheaval has actually been generated by a desire for you or them to make the other party jealous. There's a bit of a game going on here where one or both of you is trying to trigger the other, you know, because it's a way of really clarifying how the other person feels without directly having that conversation. Now, the door to romance is open, but it feels like you're moving towards it in quite a chaotic energy. As I said, your person for sure is very, very triggered. They're very afraid of losing you right now. It feels like for some of you, you may have closed a door, but in truth, the door is still open. You're just reeling from some kind of conversation. They're reeling from some kind of conversation. But with the Tower here, the Tower really does suggest that things, you know, even though they may have come to an abrupt end, it leaves space for a new beginning. And the Seven of Pentacles is all about investing and starting over. So whatever happened, it feels like it has shook things up for this person, and that they're now approaching this connection from a place of, you know, much more balanced and peaceful communication. They want to resolve this because they are so very afraid of losing you. We've got the light attribute of child nature here, which is about friendships, animals, and communication with nature spirits. So for me, this is about really reconnecting with nature and that inner child kind of joy. It's about spending time outdoors and really feeling the wonder of the natural world in the way that we would when we were children, when everything felt new and exciting. So for sure, it feels like you two are trying to find some kind of playful energy between you. And with the wounded child card here, the shadow attribute is blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving forward or on through forgiveness. And so I really do feel like your person is kind of dragging up a lot of pain of the past, and rather than reflecting on this and using it as a tool to adjust their behaviours and to better themselves, what they're actually doing here is just, justifying it, blaming, but not taking any productive or positive action. And so I do feel for you, because I feel like your person is quite messed up in the head right now. I'm hearing that you've been very, very patient despite their tomfoolery. But this person definitely has a great deal of insecurity. They may appear as very possessive, somewhat coercive. They may struggle with you having platonic friends of the opposite sex, or same sex if you're in a same-sex connection. But for whatever reason, they're very suspicious of you. As I said, with this moon in reverse, because their feelings are so big, for them it's triggered all of this fear of loss, this fear of betrayal. And I feel like their behaviours aren't always decent. That they definitely lose control of themselves. It's not a representation of their true nature. It is a representation of their wounds. But of course, this isn't a viable excuse. It's an opportunity for growth, not to, excuse your misbehaviour. So I do feel like they are acting out, and that they're perhaps very difficult to negotiate with right now. And as I said, it does feel like perhaps you may have taken advantage somewhat of their insecure nature, because it helped you understand how they were feeling. And what I'm hearing is that this person's been in a kind of fairly uncommitted energy for a while. And so it was just a way for you to see how they would react, which, as I said, it's easier than, asking them, how are you feeling about me? Are we going to make this serious? So you got the answer you wanted, but I feel at the expense of peace in this connection, because this person who already suffers from very jealous, very possessive kind of traits is now really out of control with that. The light attribute of guide represents the nature of the divine in your life and yourself. So it does feel like, for sure, you are definitely growing. And I feel you've opened this door to romance through your own understanding of loving yourself. I don't feel like you're all the way there yet, because, as I said, this kind of strategic maneuver to try and make this person jealous has not only backfired, but really didn't come from a healthy place. However, it has kind of shunted your relationship forward somewhat, because it's forced them to come out of their shell and to address some of the topics which were, really pressing here. So let me get some more clarity of this. Yeah, so we've got the Two of Cups. So it feels like it may have actually kick-started a deeper interaction. We've got decisions being made here. However, we do have two kings in reverse. So, these are distorted masculine energies. And what I feel is that your person may be more invested in your connection at the moment, but they're still not fully committing. They've certainly made a decision to try. You may have agreed to take it easy or take it slowly. As I said, this door to romance has definitely opened, and we're seeing this reflected with these two twos here. But there's still a great deal of duality here. This is both of you still seeing yourselves as separate from one another and not feeling whole, confident or secure in your connection. Certainly not them. They're really afraid of losing you, and so it feels like they're pushing forward despite not really truly being ready. With two kings in reverse, this is someone that feels disempowered. They feel unstable. They don't feel in the energy of being able to provide, protect, and really move forward with a committed relationship, and yet it feels like they are doing it anyway. Yeah, so they're not really connected to the spiritual nature of this relationship. They're not, even though they understand there is something magnetic and soulful here, they're not necessarily exploring that. I feel like you guys have communicated about it with the Queen of Swords, and they're still trying to integrate that and figure out what it means to them. I'm hearing this person's a kind of curious skeptic, and they prefer the conversation being light-hearted. They do find it exciting when you bring up this spiritual stuff, because to a really insecure person, the idea of being your one and only and this connected to you is actually very, it's very pleasing to their ear. It's what I'm hearing. So they do like it, but they also have quite an immature perspective of what's going on here. They're not really interested in pursuing it at a deeper level. So let's get some more of these blanks for you. I don't believe that you can truly love me. I say one thing and you hear something different. You're a little bit too obsessed with me. I don't know what I want. Now, I've got to be honest with you. I think it's them that's a little bit obsessed with you. This is definitely a projection. Now, obviously, if you're in a really soulful connection, there's going to be mutually deep feelings. But this person is as comfortable letting themselves go and to be vulnerable in that way. They don't want to lose control of this situation. So for them, it's much easier to project this onto you, to make out that it's you that has this obsession. But I really feel with all of the cards that have come up here that this person's, they're just trying to find some balance and control in this situation again. And by trying to diminish your power, they're making themselves feel more powerful. And this is that wounded child energy coming out. You know, someone that knocks someone else off their pedestal so that they can feel more powerful. You know, that insecurity in them really causes them to doubt how you really feel about them. And so they want to believe in the nature of this connection, but they have serious doubts. They don't trust. Remember, we had that moon in reverse. This person's so scared. They're so afraid. They want to believe. As I said, it's pleasing to their ears, but they don't understand how this could be true because they don't love and value themselves. So remember, it's very difficult for them to receive your love when they're not in the energy of loving themselves. It says here that I say one thing and you hear something different. And so I feel like a lot gets lost in translation with you. But again, I'm hearing it's this person that's not articulating themselves well, that they're backtracking, invalidating, minimising what you said. This is that wounded inner child coming into play that doesn't know how to communicate in a healthy way. But they really don't know what they want. And this is why we see this King of Pentacles in reverse. Even though they're investing in this connection, they're not entirely sure and they don't feel safe moving it forward. But they're going to anyway because the fear of losing you is greater than the fear of losing themselves and of losing control. But for sure, this person feels very, very insecure right now. Everything gets lost in translation. So yeah, this is what we're seeing here. You know, it does feel like you two are on a very different page. I'm going to get some guidance cards for you as well, pile 3. This situation hurts too many people, and the thought of being with you keeps me going. I just want to get a clarify from the tarot on this. What is this too many people situation? We've got the 6 of Cups in reverse, the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, Temperance in reverse, and the 5 of Cups. So I don't feel like this person's in a relationship, but I feel that perhaps they've not long moved on from one. This is someone who's afraid of making a firm offer, of making changes and firm decisions because they're still grieving the loss of something else. Remember, this came up here. They're still carrying a lot of sorrow and pain. And I feel like maybe they've not long since moved on from a family or another partner, and they feel like things are too fresh to be able to really kind of put that in that person's face. But it does say here that the thought of you, the thought of being with you does keep me going. I feel like this person does look towards the future with you in mind, but it does feel like they're definitely stuck with some of this betrayal energy. That deceit came up earlier, and whilst it was largely connected, I feel, to the two of you, it could for sure for some of you be connected to the betrayal they've experienced in the past. And this is what's been so triggering as far as these jealous and, you know, worried and untrustworthy behaviours are concerned. That wounded inner child I'm hearing is screaming really loudly right now. And so it feels like it's perhaps not just you that is triggering that. You know, that this person has other issues in their previous relationships that are now being brought to the surface and have been triggered by this connection. Amethyst just fell out, so we'll keep that. I'm going to get some charms, and I want to get some guidance cards for you as well. We have got the white moth, We've got the I'm a stupid baby. We have got FU. I do feel it's quite turbulent energies. We've got the prickly cactus. This is definitely someone who's annoyed. We've got the web. There's someone that feels stuck. We've got the record player. Music comes up such a lot in my readings at the moment. I feel like it's a significant time for listening to music. We've got the aeroplane. We have got introvert. We've got the hourglass. I picked a few too many here, but we're going to keep them. And we have got fake news. And of course the amethyst tumbled out, so we're going to keep that as well. So with these two that were the first out, you know, the moth is a creature that is drawn out of the dark towards the light. We had the amethyst come out as well, and there's this little kind of moon shape here. These energies are strongly connected to intuition and seeking the light. And as I said, I feel like you've discussed this with this person. They are excited by it, but they don't feel able to actually run with it. We've got I'm a stupid baby. So I think they're actually embarrassed by the probably wholly constructive criticism that you've presented about this inner child stuff, but it's made them feel quite emasculated. It's made them feel like a little boy again, or a little girl if that's the case for you guys. And the reason they're so triggered by this is because they are recognizing it as being a truth. They're recognizing that they've reached this age of adulthood and that perhaps they're not together as they thought they were. And so this may have made them very defensive and very prickly in your communication. And of course we did have all of these challenging communication cards. I feel like no matter how sensitive you are with this person or how eloquently or articulately you try and communicate with them, that it can often resolve in this pushing away energy. You know, F you, you don't know me. And this is that real resistance to facing themselves, to facing their own wounding. They don't know how to, and they do feel like it's being used against them. They're not believing what you're saying. That came up. I don't believe you truly love me. Sometimes they're questioning if you're just trying to manipulate them. And remember I said that they're trying to knock you off your pedestal so that they can feel more in control. I feel like this is their battle in their head. You know, they're trying to work out if you're being honest and truthful, if your love is real, if you're saying these things to genuinely support them, or if you're just trying to take them down a peg or two. In real terms, they're feeling really trapped by this because they know that they're in too deep to walk away without really feeling burned. But likewise, they're absolutely terrified to proceed. We've got this introvert energy, and I don't know why, but I feel like this is more connected to you. I feel like you have perhaps given this person all of your time and kind of released your social connections and friendships somewhat. There is a need for both of you to revisit the past here. And actually this time out, I'm hearing it's not necessarily serving you, the viewer. You need to spend more time with friends. Being introverted and having this all rolling around in your head isn't serving you. Past life regression is indicated for me with this one. This is about journeying into the past to resolve the wounds that are presenting. And I'm really guided to remind you that, you know, if they're expressing these shadow attributes of the wounded inner child, that it's in you as well. And it's something you also need to explore. And this hourglass shows all of the light trickling down towards the shadow aspect. For me, this is the part of yourself and them that needs to be illuminated. And again, there is some powerful message about music here. This is where you both need to be guided back towards to find the kind of answers that are perhaps going to help those misunderstood things get kind of meet in the middle. But I do feel for you, Path 3, that maybe you actually need to step away from this person for a while. And I say this because you are growing and they're not, you know, and you're guided not to necessarily wait in the shadows for them. When I'm shown the divine feminine progress, and bearing in mind she's the leader, she's the torchbearer, what I'm often shown is a footpath with shadow on one side and kind of light on the other. And the masculine's always around this side, you know, lurking in the shadows. And the divine feminine will often stand in the light, but facing her masculine, waiting for him to catch up. And I was shown this again while I was doing this reading. And what I'm hearing is you need to turn away and keep going towards the light and trust that he will catch up. You don't have to wait around in this low vibrational energy arguing with him. It's not your job to educate him. And actually, he's very, very triggered anyway by what you're saying. He's not believing you. He's not sure if you can trust it, you know, and this demonstrates that he's got wounds that he needs to rise above himself. You can't make him believe you. So your guidance before we move this to the extended is dream big, your thoughts equals creation. This is a new beginning, there's no going back. You are not being honest about the reasons for and your role in the blockages in this connection. We've got another message from your person here. I wish I could tell you how I really feel, but it's so hard. And evolve or repeat. So I feel like you've been in this energy with your person before and things have just come back around for you. You've just reconnected. It's been pretty explosive. There's been lots of triggering, lots of jealousy and so forth. But, you know, this is a new beginning. This door to romance has opened and I don't feel there's any way going back. So this reinforces that you can trust your ability to move forward and this person will follow. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to cut them off, but you do need to keep facing the light. Stop focusing so much on their shadow aspects and concentrate on your own. And you can inspire this person by leading by example, not by telling them what they need to do, not by highlighting all of their own wounds and their own shadow aspects, but by focusing on yours. You're guided as well to recognize that your thoughts are very powerful. As a divine feminine, you know, you have the power of creation within you and you need to really master your thoughts and aim further. There's some kind of project that you've been reluctant to progress with because you're not sure if you can achieve it. So the message here is dream big, keep going, trust that you can have it. You're not being honest about the reasons for your role in the blockages of this connection. And again, I feel like this is that trying to trigger this person, you know, making them jealous so that you can understand where you stand. Even though it may have actually supported some truth coming out, it wasn't the fair way to do it. And it's actually destroyed some of the trust that existed between you because it really did play on this person's worst fears. I wish I could tell you how I really feel, but it's so hard. You know, this person isn't good at communicating honestly. Again, they're so afraid that they're going to use this against them. But you're being asked to recognise that you're cycling back through very old patterns here with this person. And this is a case of evolve or repeat. I really feel like you need to keep moving towards the light and not stay stuck in the same energy that you've been in before. This person isn't going to change because you tell them to. You know, they need time to reconcile their own shadow aspects and to face them. They're not ready to do that yet. And I feel that they're feeling very attacked by your persistent need to point out their wrongdoing rather than you know, keep pointing it out and trying to educate them. You just need to move forward, you know, make clear what your boundaries are and just carry on moving forward. You can still tell this person, you know, I love you, but I need to focus on me and loving me. And while you're treating me like this, that's not loving me. Tolerating that isn't loving me. So I'm here for you when you're ready to shift, when you're ready to face the light as well and to take responsibility for your behaviours. Oh, I really hope that helped path for you. I'm going to take this over to the extended. We're going to take a deeper look at how this person's thinking and feeling, and we're going to ask about their intentions and get some more guidance on how you can best move forward. So if this resonated for you, you can find a link in the description box below and also in the near the timestamps in the comments. Hopefully I'll see you over there. If not, thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Lots of love. Bye.